Hi, my name is Sudesh Anand, and I'm the founder of Lead Techno. Welcome and good evening, everybody. I'm the one you guys have been speaking to and asking a lot of questions about career and stuff. That's me. And welcome, everybody. Hi, Bautik. Hi, Fran. Hi, Gaurav. Hello, Harishuta, Hepsiba, Josh, Mahesh, Mark, Mayor, Nav, Nayab, Nishant. Prash, Ranbir, Ruth, Samina, I remember all of you guys talking to. Hi Sashwati, hi Shikha, Siddiq, Sona, Tosin, Ved, Veena. Good evening, everybody. How are you guys doing today?
Good, not too bad.
Good, good.
Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of.
Wonderful. I want you guys to be super excited because this is one of those careers where we're going to see yourself on the job. Okay. And I'm super excited for you. And we have Nishant over here, who is a principal consultant. Hi, Nishant. Nishant, are you there?
Hi, Satish. Good evening.
Good evening, Nishant. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Hello, all.
Okay, Nishant is our
Hi.
principal consultant. And say hi to Nishant, guys. He's the man. Say hi to him.
Hey, Nishant.
Hello, 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 everyone.
You want to
Looking
become
forward to
best
having
friends
this
with him,
training.
right,
Yeah, me
Nishant?
as well.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. I'm
I'm
sure
just
we're gonna
saying
have a good
everybody to
time.
become friends. Yeah, I'm just telling everybody
Definitely.
to become friends with Nishant. And don't forget me in this, okay? I'm your first friend. All right. So, okay, welcome. And I just want to tell you, welcome all to ServiceNow Business Analyst Workshop, Bootcamp, training. You can call whatever you want. But this is where you're going to move into IT, or if you're looking to get specialization, then this is where you want to be. We just don't train just on business analyst. Okay, we only focus on careers where there is demand, high demand and low supply. This way you can transition into the job faster. We have folks coming from US, Canada, India, UK, and many other countries over here. And we specialize in ServiceNow space. So we will be your partners, taking you from 0 to 100 through different phases. We did an extensive webinar. How many of you guys have seen our webinar video? I think we shared with many of you guys. Did you have an opportunity to go through that? Anybody have seen that? Not yet.
Briefly, couldn't complete the entire thing, but briefly I did.
That's all right. I do want to tell you this is not a webinar. This is officially the first session, and you will need to check out our YouTube channel, Lead Techno Consulting, and you can see a webinar. If you don't have it, we will send it out to you. And we are officially starting the session today. And this program is going to go on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And you're going to be rolling in, hustling with us for the next 2.5 months. Phase 1 training. Phase 2, you're going to get into certifications. Phase 3, we're going to get your interview, your resumes, your projects ready for the job market. And then we help you with mock interviews, get your job ready, and we get your transition. So all of those detailed information is in the webinar. You need to check out that. Now, without much delay, I'm going to hand over the session to Mr. Nishant. He's going to be working with you day in and day out. I do want to tell you there are some house rules. If you have any question, please use your raise hand emoji so that he can start answering your questions. I do want to tell you that Nishant is from IST time zone, so please respect his time. And in another 1 week's time, we're going to have a WhatsApp group. So the folks who are registering will finally become the batch. Right now, we are welcoming you to see if this career is for you. Okay, so we are offering the first 3 sessions complimentary for many of the people who are exploring. But I do want to tell you that if you're looking for a non-coding career and you want to look to become a techno-functional consultant, this is it. And specializing in ServiceNow and moving in as a business process consultant. In the ServiceNow world, we don't call business analysts, guys. We call it business process consultants, okay? And there is a reason why we call that, because there's a high demand, and we will slowly prepare you for that. And so over to Nishant. And Nishant, please start this batch and please show us the roadmap. And what are you going to cover and how are you going to take us 0 to 100? Over to you. You can take it from here. Thank you, Nishant.
Thank you, Satish. Thank you for the wonderful start. Can you give me the rights?
Are you the host now? Just give me. I'll make you the host.
Okay, yes, I think I can. Okay, I'm host now. Let me know if you all can see my screen.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, we can.
Yes. Yeah, we can
Okay.
see your screen.
Okay, thank you, thank you. So I am welcoming you all for this wonderful training program that is ServiceNow Business Analyst, wherein we want to, take you on a ride, starting from understanding what is a BA, what a BA does, what are the roles and responsibility. From there, we will be moving on to the ServiceNow admin part, wherein you understand how the different configurations are done in admin, in ServiceNow, all the administration work. Then we will move on to the core of ServiceNow, that is ITSM. So ITSM is the one wherein you will see all of the things happening. And if you understand ITSM, if it is very easy for you to move to any other branch. When I say any other branch, ServiceNow is a enterprise wherein it has multiple products. One of the core product is ITSM. And now if you think of any of the process around you, I mean, it's not technical, any non-technical thing, even if you see, for example, you are you all must be doing Amazon. You must always using Amazon, right? You would have ordered something. Now consider when you order something, there would be a person who would be delivering it to you. So that part is known as field service. There is a person who is providing field services. So FSM is there in service now. When suppose you ordered something, now there is some issue that you are not getting, maybe you are not able to make the payment, or something you have ordered is not received yet. So you want to raise a support ticket. That part is known as your ITSM, right? Wherein you want to track if something, the services are not up to the mark. So you want to raise a ticket. So that is handled in ITSM. Similarly, you think of any of the process that is there in ServiceNow as with some product. So ITSM is there. If you understand ITSM, it is very easy for you to move on to any other product. But consider why ITSM is a core. Most of the service now started with ITSM. So all the companies who would be using ServiceNow would be using ITSM. So 80 to 90% of your Fortune 500 companies are using ServiceNow, and their primary module is ITSM. So there is a high demand on ITSM. And I'll let you know like how it works on the implementation side and also on the support side. Then we will move on to the SPM. It is Strategic Portfolio Management. Earlier it was ITPM, now it is known as SPM. In SPM, as a BA, how I will be focusing more on agile development, which is like wherein you will be gathering the requirement. Like in you, if you know a little bit about how a BA work, then there the way you capture all the requirement is in the form of user stories. So here is where you want to capture your user stories. That is again, SPM is part of your service now only. After that, we will move on to the HRST, wherein this is like a uh, uh, like an experience. If suppose we have done ITSM, we have done SPM, right? Now tomorrow, if you are given a new product to work on, suppose you have joined a company as a ServiceNow BA, and there you worked first in initial year you worked on ITSM. Now, the company is having requirement in new product. Maybe it is HRSD or it is FSM or CSM. So how will you approach that new module or that new product? So we are going to learn in this HRSD overview. It will not be a deep dive, but it will be comprising of the sessions, like how you're going to approach a new product. But consider this ServiceNow ITSM and ServiceNow admin will be a deep dive, wherein I will be touching all the possible points that are there in each of these phases. Then I will be having these are like the last week session, wherein we would like to tell you about once you join a project, right? You have cleared your interview, you have done certification, you have received offer letter now on the very first day. Or if you're part of any of the project in ServiceNow, what is it that you're going to do? What is it the project would look like? So that tomorrow when you are actually in the project, you are not new to it. You already have a very good idea. This is it, what I'll do. These are the stakeholders.
Yeah, the
And
sound
I
of
know,
the engine doesn't seem very okay. Yeah, the sound of the engine is. Thank you.
if you have any query, can you please put it in the chat because I'm not able to hear you. Also, if it is not relevant to ServiceNow, like this session, can we please go on mute? This is a quick roadmap, what is it that you're going to find in this training? This is, and the last part is wherein we would be telling you about how you're going to go for your certification preparation. And the last part, what is it that you're going to expect in your interview and how the interview would look like and how you're going to prepare for it. Now, this various phases that I'm showing you on this roadmap, uh, first part is we'll definitely covering these phases. Apart from like when I'm going through this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there will be certain questions I will be talking about, and there will be certain scenarios I will be talking about. Those are real life scenarios. Definitely, you can expect in your project. There will be certain questions that you can expect in your interview. There will be certain questions you can expect in your certification exam. So be aware when we are going through this session. It will not be a very long session. Uh, Minimum 60, maximum 90 minutes. Sometimes it can go to like 100 minutes as well. But be very attentive in this session. The classes will be three times in a week, right? And I think Sudesh must have already told you. If not, then I'll take it at the end. So this is what your entire roadmap is. Do we have any question on this roadmap? Or any clarity you seek or anything that you need? After completing this complete roadmap, this is it what you can expect. That you will be ready for the ServiceNow specific BA jobs. Right, you will be having hands-on experience. I will be sharing you certain assignments. Like at the end of the week, you would be required to complete those uh, assignments. Then it's a skilling, upskilling. If you are from already a BA background, then you would be a ServiceNow BA. And if you're not from a BA background or you're from non-tech background, do not worry. ServiceNow gives you an opportunity wherein even a non-tech person can also contribute like a technical person. You will have your advantages. What are those advantages? You will have to wait for me to, go ahead through this experience. So you will understand. Then we'll help you with the certification preparation. We will be doing CSA. CSA is a mandatory. That is for the admin part. And after that, you can definitely go and apply for the jobs, and we'll be sharing certain projects with you, which you can utilize, you can learn and understand how a ServiceNow project looks like. Any query from anyone? Also, they should want to add anything on top of this roadmap. Okay,
Folks, you
can
have
I
any
take this
questions?
silence?
Any questions from anybody over here?
No, sounds good so far. Looking forward to the module, like what else is here.
Okay, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So we'll start with our phase one. That is BA fundamentals, right? So this is what we will be covering in BA fundamentals. You will be understanding what is a BA, what are the roles and responsibility, how a project would look like for a ServiceNow requirements. Then see, in ServiceNow, most of your projects would be around agile. It works in agile methodology. So we will be looking at how Agile and Scrum fundamental work. Then we will be looking at very important part of your project, that is stakeholder, and how you will be managing those requirements with the stakeholders. So we would be looking at the different stakeholders that you can expect in your project. And then we will be looking at how you're going to go ahead for requirement gathering, documentation, process diagram, how you're going to create it. We'll do some sample prototyping. All of those we'll do here. Last case, we would like to look at how the user story looks like, how you're going to prepare it, what is the use case. All of this would be part of your last part. Now consider when we'll complete all of these topics. Now, when you are put into any ServiceNow project, you understand what is happening in that project. What are my stakeholders? What are the phases of that project, right? And I will be sharing certain assignments with you. That is not coming in this week. That will be for the next week. This week is all about getting you familiar with BA, that means Business Analyst. So with this, let's start with our class one, that is Business Analyst Roles and Responsibilities. This is the foundation for your BPC, that is Business Process Consultant. Let's start with the first one. What is a BA, right? Or Business Process Consultant. I'll take it BA only. So BA is the bridge.
Why are you here?
Oh, to be a Memphis.
I'm listening to this.
Okay. Now another thing, that while we are going through this training, I'll keep my Excel open, wherein I will be teaching you. It's for me, it is my whiteboarding. Right. So tomorrow, this is your first learning. Even when you're explaining something, or you're having a discussion, or you're having any of the meeting with any stakeholders, this is one of the medium you can use to explain things or get confirmation, or in a situation wherein you're not able to understand the other stakeholders' requirement, their points. So I will be using this Excel to explain everything, right? So what is a business analyst? Business analyst is a bridge between two ends. One is your business end and the another is your technical end. What is it that they're going to achieve from this? That business analyst will help organization to deliver values. He will be identifying, or she will be identifying problems, gathering requirements, and design solution, right? Considering these high level, the responsibilities that a BA would be playing, or he would be performing, he is not supposed to do any type of coding or technical work. The only thing he's required to do is functional part, right? What is functional part? What is technical part? Yet that you will be seeing in the upcoming classes or in the upcoming slides, right? So the job of BA is only that when you are gathering the requirement, those requirement, how it works functionally, should be there at the end when it is delivered technically. If I can show it to you in a picture, this is how it looks like. This is your project. Okay. And this is your business side. And this is your, I'll call it technical side. Okay. And BA would be somewhere, or I'll make it here. BA is standing here. Okay. So I'll call it, this is your business end. And this is your technical. And here is where a BA would be sitting. So BA would be, business will come with some requirements that, I want to implement ServiceNow, I want to implement ITSM. So BA would be going to the business, would be understanding what is it that they want to implement, what are the requirements, what are the use cases, right? BA will convert those requirements. There will be certain processes, right? converting those requirements into a language that is easily understandable by technical people. Now, whatever they have committed here, like they want something, maybe this is the requirement. Right now, this requirement is this is business requirement, consider, right? I'll call it business requirement. So BA will take this requirements and give it to technical team that this is what we want to develop. So technical team will will develop it, and it will create technical design. Actually, this is on paper and this is on system. Once it is developed, then BA would validate that whether as per this design, is it working or not working. Once it is done, then you go ahead with a different life cycle of a project. What are the different life cycle project that we are going to learn in the next class? But in the first class, we would want to understand what a BA would be doing in a project. So first part is BA. Now you will see that BA acts as a bridge between client and your technical team. Now, what are the stakeholders in client and technical team? That is also I've shown you in the BA fundamentals roadmap. So that is also coming up. So consider that we will be unclosing or uncovering a lot of things. I will start with the basic, but consider that it will all be moving into different branches. For example, one thing is, as a technical team, what all stakeholders are there? What are their responsibilities? As a BA, what are my responsibilities? What all stakeholders are there on the client end? What they will be doing? But for now, on a very high level, this is a BA. It is acting as a bridge between your client and your technical team. Okay. A BA translates the language of the business into a language developers can understand. Okay. Okay. Now understand the core responsibilities or the role of a BA. A BA is responsible, like here, whatever I was mentioning, that these are the requirements, then BA is standing here. So what is it that the BA would be doing between these two ends, business end and technical end? Understanding the business needs and challenges, right, from the client, that BA will go and ask that what are your challenges today? What are your pain points? Right? And he would be analyzing. Now you will be understanding these terms. There will be certain terms that you use as a BA, right? Analyzing their current process. This is known as is. Okay, make a note, not as such a note, but keep track of these terms, right? This will be used in, day out in your projects. So BA would like to understand as is. As is means currently how it is operated. Okay, what is it? Whatever they want to change or whatever they want to implement, they would be doing it today only, right? They would have been doing it yesterday also. So first thing is you want to understand what is your as is process. As is process. Are we clear? Do we understand what is as is? Is it like, I think the term itself is
Yeah,
self-explanatory,
understood.
as is.
So far, so good.
Great, great. So first part is you would want to understand what are their current process, that is your as is. Now, first you understand their as is process. Now try to understand their to be process. To be process is what is it that they're expecting in the new project, or what is it that they're expecting from this engagement, from this project, or how the process should be there in the upcoming state. Okay, so there is another term that that we give to as is and to be, that is CMO and FMO. CMO is nothing but current mode of operation. that how they are operating today, and then FMO is future mode of operation. That in future, how they want to operate. Okay. So after you understand their current process and to be process, it will give you a very good idea what is the gap. This is what we call as gap analysis. And that is one of your responsibilities as a BA. So you want to understand what are the gaps between what is it that they're doing today and what is it that they want in future. That is how you will identify the gap. Now you would, once you have identified the gap, you understand the requirement, then you will start documenting these requirements. The requirements can be when you say documentation, it usually comprising of BRD, FRD, user stories. This is documentation. And then if they ask you to create process diagram, which you would be doing ideally, so there is a requirement to create process diagrams also, right? After this is done, then you will start the coordination between the technical people and business end. So these documents will be handed over to your technical team. Based on this document, they will start the development work. Once development work is done, you will move on to the testing part. Once testing is done, you will be validating whether whatever they have developed is as per this to-be process or not. Once you are satisfied, then we'll go ahead for the deployment. I will take their approval that we are good to go for deployment, and then we'll deploy it. Okay, these are the core responsibilities. There are more responsibilities as well, but definitely you're going to perform these activities in a ServiceNow BA project. For example, there is a requirement that HR, we all are familiar with HR process, right? One simple HR process is that you are joining a new company and we call it onboarding process, right? So you would know that usually what happens is that suppose this is your company and you have given interview, and then post interview there might be different rounds like round 1, round 2. Once you clear everything, then once suppose you received offer letter, after you received offer letter, then you would be required to submit all the documents. It can be about your address proof, about your salaries, about your income tax, and all the relevant documents, right? Once you provide all those documents, then there will be day 1 of your joining. Like on day 1, you will receive your assets like laptop. Then you will receive an email will be created for you so that a communication start, right? Then you will be having certain access to certain folders, certain applications. Then for like day or not day 1, for week 1, you will have plan of there will be certain activities planned for you. Like there can be activities for you to perform in the first week you have to complete these training. Then you will have to complete these are the HR process. So consider this is a process, right? So if the HR, one thing is that, I mean, mostly not now, but if you go like 5 years back, all of these process used to happen on email and mostly through calls. Nowadays also it is happening on call and email as well, but there is a better tracking. There is a portal wherein you can go and check, you know, nowadays even for the very first call, right? You're having your first call, like you're having your first screening, and you're required to attend your first interview. Even at that stage also, there will be a portal for you. It will be like candidate, and there you can see that you have uploaded your CV, and it will be showing that you are up for your first level, and this is scheduled on this date at this time. So there is a better trackability, and you will be receiving a notification through call, through email, through WhatsApp message, right? So you will have a flexibility of all of these things. And so all of this is actually automated, right? So what you will be doing as a BA is that you will identify what are the pain points. The pain point could be that when I give a checklist, suppose one way is that on the day one, when I'm asking you to share all the documents, that on portal, I can create a portal. On portal, I can write the document name. Maybe document. I'm giving you one example. Document 1, document 2, and document 3. Then on the right side, I can add a checkbox that you're uploading all of those documents, and then I can give you a link where you can go and attach all the documents. This is one way. This could be a solution. And the problem could be for this solution, I mean, I'm talking in reverse, but let's first talk about problem. The problem is HR reached out to you and saying that I need these 10 documents. They have given you in an email, and you have shared it over email as well. Maybe you forgot to add one document, or HR itself forget to add one document in the list. At the same time, when you're sharing those documents, some you are sharing in PDF format, some document you're sharing in Word document, some you have shared some snips also, or pictures also, right? So you're not getting either. No, the objective is that you should receive all the documents. But if they are not in the proper format, then it will not work for rest of the process. So the solution could be that I'll create a portal. You can go to the portal, I'll create an account for yourself, and there you can have these documents, you can tick mark, and then you can upload it. So this is a better way of organizing the documents for this process of onboarding. It has a better trackability. And at some point, suppose for document 1, I need a PDF format. So I can put a message saying here, upload PDF. And PDF size should not be more than 2 MB. Right? Something like this. So this is how you create a solution. Okay. So this is one example that I have shared. It is a very simple one, but you will be seeing more examples, some technical and some non-technical. So if I'm telling you some example, I'll try to make it in a layman language so you understand, you can connect with the real life also. Next part is, what is a BA in digital transformation, doing? So the BA is responsible. Digital transformation is all about, improving the process. Now, one example we just have seen, uploading the document through email, the communication is happening through email. And second, you have a portal. Again, communication is also happening here as well. But there is a better trackability, better visibility, and then communication is happening not only through one channel, but multiple channels. Right? At the same time, you have a better understanding what to do on this portal. So that is how you digitally move. Right. So this is very simple example, but then you will be seeing much more examples of such process. Right. But what is it that you're getting out of these transformations? First, efficiency, cost saving, and then the last part, very important part is customer satisfaction, or you call it also CX, customer experience. Customer experience is very important, right? In platform like ServiceNow, the BA helps organization move from manual workflows to automated digital workflow. Right? Workflow is nothing but I have a process. My process will have any of the process that you have, right? It will have certain steps, like step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and so on till step last N. Right. So now, I would give you a little activity, one activity that you can perform. Now think of any of the process. Suppose you have to send money to your friend, to your colleague, right? Even for that, there are steps. First step is there should be some prerequisite. Like you should have, uh, like who is the receiver? You should have their banking details. At the same time, you should have login, you should have, of course, you should have some money in your account. Now, when you're going, first part is you will log in. Second part, you will select the beneficiary. Third part, you will select the amount. Fourth part, you will add it and then it will be sent. You will receive an email notification, right? So this is, these are the different steps. Now to perform any of these things, one could be a manual work. Second could be a automated workflow, right? What is manual and automated? Manual we just have seen, and then automated also we have seen. So BA would be identifying that those manual workflows, how we can make it some automated digital workflow. Now, do not worry about how the automation will work. What could be the automated? Like, it's not that you are the only one deciding what should be there in the automation. You will be working on the guidelines from this client, and also in the technical team, you would be having some help. What are those help? I will be discussing those part in the upcoming slides. But understand your responsibilities is to see how this process, what is it that the client is saying? What are the steps? What is it that they're expecting uh, through automation, right? Through this current mode and future mode, what is their as is and to be process? Then you will be suggesting a solution. If I move to the next part, so a project will have various phases, right? So what are the responsibilities of a BA in the various phase? So consider that this is your uh, chronology of a project. First, there will be discovery. In discovery, you will be gathering and analyzing requirement, which is nothing but this part. You will gather the requirement and you will be analyzing the requirements, right? Once it is done, then you will move to the analysis, wherein you will be creating document process, you will be uh, understanding the pain points, right? Then design. You will move to the 2P process, understand, you will create a workflow design, right?
Sorry, Nishant, what is Miro? It says map as is process in Miro.
Okay, I will tell you. Not service now, in any of the project you work, you will be creating diagrams. Okay, so diagram can be created through some tools. One of the tool is Visio, then there is Draw, there is Lucid Chart, and similarly we have in Miro. Miro is in you can map those diagram, right? So those process you can map. So Miro is like a tool, nothing as in related to service now. It's like a tool. I mean,
Okay.
for better understanding, let me call it. So there are some tools for BA to work on. I will be discussing about those tools as well. There are some tools for collecting user stories. For document purpose, we know that we will be using PPTs, Excel, and Word. For creating diagrams, you will be using this Visio, Lucid Chart, and all. Then there are other tools as well. Some companies do use Confluence as well, right? So based on that, you will be using those tools. So one of them is Miro.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Let me for better that let me keep it like this. Map assist process. And then you will design 2B process, you will create workflow design. And after this is done, you will move like here, you will start doing in implementation. First, you will be uh, not you, your developers will be start developing those requirements. Then testing will start. And after this is done, you will take a sign off, right? So these are your responsibilities. So you will in this phase, consider in the first three phase, your contribution is like 70% in the project. But as and when your design part is over, you have handed over your user stories to developer, your responsibilities will or the involvement will be less as compared to the initial part. It might be 50%. You will be doing more of a collaboration, that if there are some challenges you would want to understand, then you will find the right stakeholder and discuss those part. And after that, Once validation is done, then you will take a sign off and you're done with your responsibilities here. In case of implementation, we'll talk about what are the other type of project in the next class. So as a BA, you would want to ask why before how, right? How is not your responsibilities. Why do you want a requirement? Why do you want to implement ServiceNow? Why do you want to implement ITs, right? This is this is a quick tip that you want to understand why and how you're going to achieve it. That will be done by your developers and testers. I think Bautik has some question. Yes, Bautik. Bautik, do you have any question?
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Hi Nissan. In
Hello.
analysis phase, I can see that you explained that map as is process, right? That covers Miro.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question about uh, whether Miro and Figma is different one, because where Miro uses and where Figma uses.
See, I'll tell you. When we are doing all of those P activities, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I give you a very simple example, that if you have to create a process diagram,
Uh-huh.
okay. If you ask me to create process diagram, I can do it in PPT,
Mm.
right? Some can do it in Visio.
Okay.
Some can even do it in Draw, right? Now, for me, if I understand that how to create diagrams, what is it there in the diagram, I can create it whatever tool is given to me. Okay, so
Okay.
for me, there's the responsibility would be to understanding the concept. Now,
Okay.
whatever tool is available is totally up to the project you will be part of. Because
Okay.
when you're part of a project, there will be a client. Now it depends on the client what all licenses he or she has purchased. Some client would say that, we do not have any tool. So
Okay.
you will be using the free tool, whatever is available. So Draw is free. PPT is always there in your 365, right?
Okay.
So based on that, you will be picking up those tools to complete your responsibilities.
Got it.
Similarly, Figma is there, Miro is there, all depends on the client. So to be very honest, I have never seen any client using Figma. I know Figma is a very wonderful tool, even Miro as well, but most of the company would stick to the licenses which is coming with their, like it's a bundle licensing. For example, if I talk about uh, Office, Office will give you a good, if you look at the bundled one, it will give you a good softwares. Like it has your PPT, Word, and Visual is also included here, right? It is also giving you a communication tool that is Teams. But then you will see some companies using Slack as well.
Hmm.
So all
Yeah.
depends on the project you will be part of. Okay. But definitely when you are going through this training, I may not be using all of the tools, but one or two tool will definitely use when you will understand the concept. Now that concept is applicable to any of the tool you are using. There will be hardly the difference of 5% that you will see. That is there on uh, any of the process. For example, you want to do banking. It's not that the banking is done with only one bank. You open a new account in the other one. The process or the functioning remains same, that you have to send the money, you have to receive money, you want to save something, you want to buy a credit card. Okay,
Yeah. Thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, now you understood what is it that the BA is going to do, right? All the responsibilities you have understood. One very important part that a BA should understand in a project is what is it that a BA has to deliver, right? BA is supposed to deliver, has to, or by the end of the project or during the project, what is it that the BA would be sharing? For example, what is the job of a developer? Like, what is the job of a client? The client will be sharing the document mentioning what are their problem statement, what is it that they're looking forward to. Similarly, BA's responsibilities is to create a business requirement document. Usually business will do it, but if not, then you might have to do it. Then he is supposed to create a functional requirement document, user stories, process flows, UAT scenarios, and sometimes even trading materials and SOPs. Now, what are these documents? What is the definition of this document? What is it that we do? How a sample FRD, BRD, or user stories looks like? That we will be covering in our upcoming sessions. For today, just understand this is what you have to deliver. For example, the way the responsibilities of a developer is to create a working software. That he will create a software or create an application that is working. But BA's responsibilities would be that he would be or she would be creating these documents, and based on this document, developer will create this application. Now I have tester also. The responsibilities of tester is to validate. What he will be validating, whatever BA is saying, is it created or not? Is it working as per the design or not? Right. So on a very high level, you will see these 4 stakeholders. There will be one more. Then, I mean, there are multiple stakeholders as well that we'll see later on. But just to give you a hang of it, there will be architect, there will be project manager, right? They will be performing these activities. We'll come to know about the different stakeholders and what they will be doing. But today, what BA will be doing, 80 to 90% of the time, you will be asked to work on these deliverables. Now you do not have to worry about whether development is completed or not completed. Your responsibilities is you have given the user stories, they should be worked upon. Definitely, you will be looking at what is the challenges, all those, then you will be highlighting it as at a relevant forum so that necessary action can be taken. So as a BA, these are your deliverables. Now, the only difference you will see between a BA, regular BA and a ServiceNow BA is if we look at the focus, a ServiceNow BA will focus more on process designing and optimization. Wherever possible, how you can design the process and optimize that process. When I say optimization, it means, can I do this process in a better way? Can I introduce workflow? Can I introduce automation? That is what ServiceNow BA would be looking at. When I talk about engagement, you will be working with process owners, platform architects, right? Continuous collaboration and communication so that it is not only the start and end of the part, you will be throughout the project lifecycle, you are discussing and evolving the product, right? Deliverables, usually it is in the terms of process maps, to-be workflows, solution design, but some of the stakeholders, like as I was mentioning, that these tools depends on the project. Similarly, these deliverables also depend on the project. Some client will ask you to do BRD, FRD, user stories, UAT. Some are okay with only process design and to-be workflows and user stories. So one of your key ask during in the initial part of a project is understand what is it that as a BA I have to deliver, right? Uh, then if I talk about okay, BA's role in ServiceNow project and a typical ServiceNow implementation, a BA will identify business pain points, gather requirements from SMEs and end users, work with developers and architects to configure modules, validate solutions via test cases. They will be supporting go live and user training, right? If I tell you a project like this is your project, let's come here. A project usually has 2 parts. So it's your complete project, and I'll divide it into 2 parts. this is your one part, and then this is another part, right? First part is implementation, and another part is support. Implementation means you have created something from 0 and you have taken it to 100. I mean, suppose if I talk about implementation, there is a company who wants to have ServiceNow, right? For example, they do not have ServiceNow previously, but now they want to have ServiceNow implemented. So earlier it was 0, now they've implemented ServiceNow. Now, after the implementation, you know that any of the module, any of the product, even for a website you are creating, a website will need some maintenance. That if there is some issue in the maintenance, there should be a team who should help with those maintenance, right? Or if you want to improve that website, maybe you want to add one more component to it, or it needs a like timely upgrade. So all of those part is done in the support. So then there is another part of a service now that is called support project. So you will see these two kind of project. One is implementation and the another is support projects. Right. So you will have different roles. We will come to know about these different types and also what you will be doing soon. So these are the responsibilities that you will be understanding. Whether it's a support project or it's an implementation on a very high level, this is it what you're going to do. Now, what are the skills that you will need as a successful BA? So understand, I am not mentioning any technical skills. It is only functional skill and soft skills. When we talk about functional, you should understand about ServiceNow admin part that we will be doing a good deep dive. You should understand about ServiceNow app products that are ITSM, HRSD, ITPM. Then you should have familiarity with these tools: Jira, Confluence, Azure, DevOps, ServiceNow Agile Dev. As I was saying, that if you understand one tool, it is enough for you to work. If you know how to work on one tool, it will be very easy for you to work on another tool. Process modeling like Visio, Lucidchart, Draw.io. So you can use this to create diagrams. So as a BA, these are your functional skills, right? This first two are very specific to ServiceNow, and then rest are like it is applicable to any of the uh, BA project you're working on. Then, of course, these are your soft skills that you should be able to communicate. You should show critical thinking, that you should be able to manage stakeholders. You should have a problem solving attitude, right? You should be able to present the cases. You should be able to moderate discussions. There is no technical skills, as in you that if you feel like there will be coding, there will be some architecting something, nothing. All of this is all about understanding functionally how ServiceNow will work, and then the soft skills for you to derive the project. Okay. And last part is about a quick summary about our session that we started with. As a BA, you would be bridging the gap between the two sides, business side and technical side. The focus would be on understanding the requirements, uh, uh, process understanding, user validation, right? And then you're in ServiceNow, you will be focusing more on delivering real business outcomes, right? That you're providing customer satisfaction, experience is good, workflow is there, right? You're bringing in automation. Now, from now on, you will see that you will be able to think I'll change the way you're thinking, about any of the process. So now, even for a simple example, right? If I want, see, this is how you can change, or you will see a change in the way you're thinking about anything. If I give you one simple example, that we all must be using Instagram, right? If not Instagram, we would have used Facebook, right? Simple case. I'll give you one use case or a one process. How to upload your first post. Now it is very easy. If I ask you to do this activity, I think you can do it very easily. Tell me the step. Step 1, then step 2, step 3, step 4, right? Step 1 would be you should have a picture or any content that you want to share. It can be or any file that you want to share, right? Then you will select, you will upload it, you will do the adjustment framing and all. And then after that you upload, you will see a success message that it is uploaded, right? There will be one process that what is prerequisite of this process? Prerequisite is that you should have this pic and everything. Your account should be working. You should be able to log in. What is the outcome? The outcome is as soon as you upload it, they will receive a success message and you can see it in your feed, right? And how you're going to test? See, these are all the process. This is a very layman example, but tomorrow this layman example is the example that is very much relevant to your project, right? So this is how I want you to think in terms of any of the process that you look around. If you think like this, it is very easy for you to work on these requirements. Understand your requirements are coming like this only. This application is like a social media application used for entertainment and communication or with your friends and family. Tomorrow you will be creating a similar application or similar product in ServiceNow. You will see a very good similarity between this process and the one you're going to do it. If I tell you very simple example, here you are uploading a post. If I do not even take example of ServiceNow, you make it email. We all must be using Outlook. In Outlook, you will be going into the Outlook, you will be adding senders, right? Address, and then you will add a subject line, you will add a document, you will add some context, and then you will send it. Not exactly similar, but somewhat that you are sending something, you're uploading something here. This is what you will be doing when you're creating applications in ServiceNow or enhancing application in ServiceNow. So you will be getting the requirements that they will come and tell you that, I want to create an application wherein I can communicate, I can send messages, I can send attachments and also receive it. So based on those requirements, you will try to map where it can fit in ServiceNow. And from there on, you will be creating these FRD, user stories in process. This information will be given to your developers. They will create a working prototype or working software that will be tested and that will be implemented um, in your prod environment, like in the live environment. So consider that it is ServiceNow, like it is technical, but it is what can I call it? It is fun to understand and learn this tech part of ServiceNow. And to be very honest, after you complete this course, even in the midway, you will realize that it is not as complicated as it looks like because it is very easy to understand, move it. And even on that, you are on the BA side, you are only concerned about the functional part of it. Right. So a great I'll end the session by saying you as a BA, you don't just want to gather requirements, but you want to uncover opportunities. So understand when you're deciding these steps, right? We have seen that you will ask the client about the steps that are there in the process. You definitely can add on. You definitely can understand. Maybe I can involve one more step, or this can give more visibility, more trackability. So you can uncover the opportunities. Right. So this is it from the today's session. Let me know your queries. But before your queries, we'll have our next class on Thursday at 8:30 p.m. So the training schedule will be Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. And this is how we will be completing our session. First 2 weeks, we want to focus on PA fundamentals. Then we will move on to the ServiceNow. Yes, please. Your questions. I'm happy to take your questions.
Yes.
So yes, great presentation by the way. Although I do see, should I say a slight similarity or significant similarity to our Agile Scrum or project management. So what would you say is the major difference between ServiceNow and project management or Agile Scrum?
Service management and
No,
can you repeat your question,
ServiceNow.
please?
So, business analyst,
Mm-hmm.
ServiceNow, a
Mm-hmm.
ServiceNow business analyst versus Agile
Okay.
Scrum or project management. So what's the big difference?
Okay, you're asking the difference
Mhm.
between ServiceNow Business Analyst and
Yes,
Project Manager, right? Agile Project
yes,
Manager.
project management. Yes.
Perfect, perfect. So that that is coming up in my fourth session, stakeholder and requirement management. But just to give you a quick understanding about it, see, um, whenever this project is coming to you, right, as I mentioned, so project manager will look at the timelines. He will be managing the resources, right? And then he will be managing the risk attached to it, and he will be doing the communication with your uh, leadership on both sides, on the your your company side, and then you will be part of a company on your end, and also on the client end. All the major communication will be led by your project manager. He will have a very good idea what this project is all about and what are the different phases of this project. Right, so that is all the responsibilities of a project manager. He will never step into your territory of understanding the requirements and everything. Never. You will only reach out to a project manager whenever there is a risk. One of the risks could be that you do not have proper documents. Right. All of those risks will be highlighted by your project manager when they are having a they are having a weekly meeting wherein they want to update what is the progress on the project to this leadership of your company and also to the client, wherein they will be telling that this is it, we have completed 20% project is completed, and now I see these risks can be a bottleneck to the progress. So these are your high level responsibilities of a project. If your project is small scale, then maybe a project manager can handle one or two projects at a time in parallel. If it is a large project, then there can be two or three project managers for a single one, like single project. So totally depends on the scale and size of a project. But on a very high level, these are your responsibilities. Now, what is happening inside the project? Like suppose this is your project. On a very high level, to complete this project, I need resources, not here. On the external, I need resources, I need funds, I want to understand what are my timelines, I want to understand who can highlight my risks, I want to understand who will do the communication, right? So all of this part, or maybe timelines there, okay. So this all these responsibilities will be performed by your project manager. Now, inside the project, what is the as is process, to be process, what are the user stories, what are the process diagrams, right? What are the training material, and how are going to develop it? There will be someone testing it. That will be done internally. Some part will be performed by BA, some will be performed by developers, some would be tested, and there will be one more person, that is architect, who will be helping you on the technical side of service now, helping developer and tester. Is it clear?
Perfect. Yeah. Beautiful.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. You're welcome. Any other query from anyone? Yes, Ved.
So I know that we will be focusing on service now.
Mm-hmm.
There are many modules, right? I mean, you covered ITSM. You also spoke about SPM, ITOM, or HRSD, right? What are the primary modules that we would be covering? I mean, for example, will GRC be covered as a module in our training?
No, GRC is a wide application or product. I would be focusing on ITSM. We'll do a deep dive. We'll do a deep dive of admin. And this part, SPM, we are doing because in SPM, there is agile development. If you do agile development, is nothing but there you will be running the sprint. You will be capturing user stories, how to create theme, releases. So this is required because most of the company are using ServiceNow. So they prefer a product within ServiceNow itself who can manage agile part, who can manage user stories and sprint. So that is why we want to learn this. As a BA, you're supposed to work on this. And if for that matter, even the client is not using agile development, they're using Jira or they're using Azure DevOps, then also if you understand the concept here, you will be able to perform the same there as well. Then we are doing HRSD. It is not a deep dive, it is an overview. Consider the concept we are going to apply in HRSD. You can apply it to any other product that you will be working on tomorrow. For this training, ITSM is primary module. Admin and ITSM are your primary. Then SPM, we want to focus on Agile. I'll do a one session when I'll do a demo. That how the project would look like, how do you capture user stories, how do you create epic, how do you create theme, how do you create a team, how do you create a sprint, how do you add user stories to a sprint, how to run a sprint, and how to complete a sprint. Right. After you have developed, after you have done this part, then we'll do a HRSD. If it is not HRSD, if it's GRC, you apply the same concept, you will be able to work on GRC as well, or for that matter, FSM, ITOM, ITEM.
Perfect. Thanks, Nishant.
You're welcome. Any other query? If not, then I think we are good to wrap today's session. Before that, Sudesh, would you like to say
I'm all
something?
good. I'm all good, Nishant. Thank you for the wonderful session and the introduction. Um, Guys, anybody has any questions before we close? Bautik, Emmanuel, Gaurav, Harishwata, Henry, Hepzibah, Josh, Mayor, Mohammadi, Nayab, Rambir, Ravina, Ruth. Guys, this is what I want to tell you. The next session is on Thursday evening, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're going to send you, my team is going to send you the recordings of the first session. And so you guys can go through it. And the next section is on Thursday evening. It's going to be the same link with a different change in date. It's going to be the same link, but we will send you the registration link, Zoom link for the next session. Okay. Hope you all had a great session. Thank you so much for coming. See you guys back on Thursday. Have a great night, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you, Nishant. Have a good night.
Thank you, Sudesh. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Looking
everyone.
forward to seeing you
Thank
in
you,
the next
Sudesh.
session.
Thank you.
Thank
This
you.
is good.